Friends, I want to explore the idea of something called data validation. In short, what does that mean? Right now, in each of these columns, despite the column header or whatnot, these are freely editable columns. I could put whatever I wanted into all of these columns. And it may be the case, for instance, that for division, all I want is lower school, middle school, or upper school. That's it. So is there a way to restrict what you can possibly put in a cell to be only one of some limited amount of options? So let's check it out. So in this case, I want to highlight the cells in question, these division cells, and I want to make it so you can only put in lower school, middle school, or upper school. So I'm going to highlight them all. And once highlighted, whether it's an entire column or a set of cells or whatnot, we're going to head over to Data, and we're going to click on Data Validation. So it's saying, okay, this cell range, what is it that we're trying to do this for? I have already selected them, and that's why it auto-populated. I could click on this icon here to select the data range myself. And what's the criteria? And first I want to show you list of items. And so we're going to say the only things you can put in these cells are lower school, middle school, or upper school. And I put no spaces, just those commas separate the possibilities. Do you want to show a drop-down list in the cell? I'm going to leave that on, and I'll show you why I really like that. If someone tries to enter something different from lower school, middle school, or upper school, what do you want to do? Do you want to just show them a warning, but kind of let it happen? Or do you want to just straight up reject the input? So I'm going to straight up reject the input. Okay, and now I'm going to press save. So a couple of things are going to happen. Because I said yes to drop-down, what I really like is that for any of these now, you see this little arrow here. And if there was no data here, I could say, okay, this person is middle school, this person is lower school, this person is upper school, this person is middle school. It allows for very quick data entry, and I really like that. Additionally, if I were to try to type something other than one of those options, and note, I still can type US or MS, and everything's groovy, but if I try to type something else, it's like, no, you can't do that. The data you entered violates the data validation rules set on the cell. These are the only options you can do. So I really like it for one, making sure that the right kind of data gets in there. And also, I love these drop downs. I think it's really cool, and it just allows you to very quickly enter the right data that you want to. For session name, I'm going to delete all of this actually. And then I'm going to, now that it's still highlighted, I'm going to show you that you can also get that list, not necessarily from a list that you type up, but one that exists elsewhere. So here in session name, I'm going to do data validation, show drop-down list, I'll reject the input. And in this case, I'm going to say, find the list from a range that already exists. And I want to find that range. So I'm going to use this little icon here. What's the data range I want to use? I want to use this list right here that I've already made of session names. So this was the sheet from which I got it, copy of Administrivia, and these were the cells from which it came. I'll press OK. Takes me back here. Everything else good? Great. Save. So this means that for each of these cells, if I click on this arrow, here are the options I have. A whole bunch of options. From where did these options come? They came from this list right here. All right, so in this case, I'd say, oh, what session did they go to? They went to New LMS Tour or Google Forms or short films or, what have you. Again, a nice drop down, making sure people are putting in the right thing. If they try to put in the wrong thing, nope, can't do that. And so data validation is a great way, again, to allow for maybe easier data entry and making sure that the data being entered is exactly the type of data that you want for any particular cell.